Hello YouTube, can your Snowthrower roll like this? The reason that Snowthrower rolls so well is this. I put a bearing on the skid. So let me take this apart and I'll show you exactly what's behind all this. Okay, so the first thing I did was take the old skid and drill a 3/8 hole as close to the bottom as possible. And that's going to be the magic behind all this. So you can use an existing skid or an old one if you still have one, or if you don't want to damage, or if you have a new one you don't want to damage it, just get any old skid and put a 3/8 inch hole as close to the bottom edge as you can. The second, this is called a lifting screw, I believe. And again, this is a couple, I've been using this for a couple of years, so I can vouch that it absolutely works. What you're going to do is you take this lifting screw and cut the head roughly in half, as you see here. The reason for that is if, like this one, you still have a bit of the old skid on the bottom, you're going to need this flat part to fit just like in there, so you can tighten everything on the other side without it spinning. So now you're going to have this. The next thing is you're going to need a flat washer that's a little thicker, like this one, to fit over the square part of it, like so. After that is a regular 3/8 inch washer, put over it, to make sure that you have a flat contact for the bearing. And then the most important part, the bearing itself. And that's all this is. This is an outdoor rated sealed bearing. Again, this one's a couple of years old, but it still works, so I'm just going to throw it back in. You can buy these off of Amazon for about $5 or $6 for a pack of 10. The reason I don't have, I only have 4 left is because I put these on some other Snowthrowers that I have in my personal collection. But yeah, that's all you need. These are have a 3/8 inch inner diameter, and I forget what the outside is, but the point is that it's bigger. The outside diameter is bigger than the bolt, like you see there, right? That's the most important key to all this. So once you have all this, you just simply put your bearing in there. Again, this is a little older, so it has seen weather. There we go. Once you have your bearing in there and it spins freely, then you're going to get a lock nut and put it on there. And the trick to this is you want to tighten this up so that it spins freely, but you don't want to bind up the bearing. A little more, and there you are. So now this spins easily, and it doesn't move all that much. Maybe I can tighten this up a touch more. There we go. Oh, the only thing I didn't show, because I've already done this, you want to put a bunch of lock anti-seize on the bolt to make sure that this isn't going to rust together on you. It'll make it hard to get apart if you ever need to replace it. The nice thing is, once you have this done, again, because you've got this lifting screw on here and it can't turn, which is part of the reason why I do this, is if I ever need to replace this, I don't have to take the skid off. You can do that all at once. I also should note that originally, when I did this, I tried to use a lawnmower wheel for this, but the problem is those wheels are quite large, and because of their size, they want to ride up the snow. So it didn't work anywhere near like I was hoping it would. Also, because of the size, it added another, maybe, I don't know, 1.5 inches to each side of the Snowthrower, making it a little more difficult to maneuver in tight spaces. This, as you can see, is very low profile. You're only adding a tiny little bit, and it's very small, so it's barely noticeable. But the reason why you use an outdoor rated sealed bearing is because now it will roll. I don't have to lubricate this. There is no provision for lubricating this at all anywhere, and it's not going to go anywhere. It allows a Snowthrower to move easily without binding up, and because everything rolls, again, this bearing has been through 2 years of seasons, and it's still in good shape. I will never need to replace this skid. And even if I did, I've already got 4 more because, as I said, these are about a pack of 10 for $6 and change. Last I checked. So I hope this helps you out. I will have links to everything that I used here, everything that all the parts that I used, including the link to a can of Never Seas if you want, that you can purchase from Amazon. I think all said and done, it'll cost you maybe 25, 30 bucks. But again, you will never need to touch your skids again, and it'll make your Snowthrower roll a whole lot better than it ever did before. You know, while I'm at it, I figured I might as well show you how to adjust the skids on your Snowthrower. This will work for any machine, regardless if you've done the bearing hack or not. What I do is I get these paint stirrers from your local hardware store. They're free, and you put one on each side so it's level, and now you've got the right clearance between your machine and the floor. Okay, better angle so I can show you what I'm doing. So first of all, Never Seas, this is an old can. Never Seas is your best friend with these things. It will prevent so much heartache in the future. Yeah, I know, the original brush came out, so I used an old toothbrush to get the last bit of this out. Once you've got that in place, you might need to lift up your Snowthrower a touch. I'll try to use my foot for that. And there we are. And there we are. Put the nuts on. Finger tight. If you have a off-the-shelf OEM skid, it should fit fairly flat. This one, because there's only one support in the front, you may need to tilt this a little bit, as you can see right there, so that the bottom is parallel with the ground. So it's going to skate a little bit above the ground, but that's what you want because your bearing is doing all the work. So with that said, now you can go ahead and tighten everything up. Once you have that done, it rolls with no issues. So not only is it easier to move right off the gate, but because it's rolling, it doesn't wear down, so you won't have to touch this. All right, done. I hope this helps you out, and have a good day.